Here's the NBA records that Victor Wembanyama holds. First off, let's talk about Wemby's historic night in Toronto. What he did there was nothing short of legendary. Wemby put up a monster triple-double with 27 points, 15 rebounds, 10 blocks, and 5 assists. Yeah, you heard that right. 10 blocks. That's not something you see every day, especially from a rookie. And get this, he's now in the company of some of the greatest legends to ever play the game. We're talking Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Hakeem Ralph Sampson, and the Spurs' very own David Robinson. These are names that define greatness in the NBA, and Wemby's right there with them. Wemby didn't just join an elite group with his 25, 10, and 5 game. He became the first rookie ever to have 2 different triple-doubles that involve assists and blocks, since blocks became an official stat. 74. That's right, folks. No one has done this before, not in nearly 50 years of NBA history. It's like Wemby is rewriting the rule book for rookies. And that's not where the story ends. Wemby is on a fast track to pass some of the most remarkable rookies the NBA has ever seen. Remember Paul Gasol? Yeah, he was the last rookie to record 150 assists and 150 blocks in a single season. Paul had 152 assists and 153 blocks total. Impressive, right? Well, Wemby hit those numbers by his 48th game. Only David Robinson reached those stats faster. That's right, Wemby is up there with the elite, fastest to achieve 150 assists and 150 blocks. If that doesn't scream future Hall of Famer, I don't know what does. But hey, Wemby wasn't just breaking records for rookies. He's out here shattering records for all NBA players. Get this, he became the first player ever to have a triple-double with blocks and hit multiple three-pointers in the same game. He went 2 for 4 from beyond the arc against the Raptors, making NBA history yet again. How's that for versatility? We're talking about a guy who can dominate in the paint and step out to knock down threes. Wemby is truly a new breed of player. And if you're thinking, well, he's probably playing a ton of minutes to get these stats, think again. Even with minutes restrictions, Wemby has been making magic happen. He became the first player to record 10 blocks and 5 assists while playing under 30 minutes in a single game. That's right, he's making history in less time than most players get in a game. Just let that sink in for a moment. This guy is all about maximizing every second he's on the floor. And the numbers just keep getting crazier. Wemby is the first player to hit 75 three-pointers, 150 assists, and 150 blocks in a single season. And he did it in just 48 games. I mean, who does that? This kid is on a whole different level, and he's only getting started. You just have to sit back and appreciate what we're witnessing. Now, let's switch gears to his game in Dallas. Sure, it wasn't the greatest overall game for the Spurs, but Wemby still managed to hit more milestones. His 20th point of the night came early in the second quarter, and at that moment, he hit the 1,000 point mark for his career. That's right, 1,000 points in just 49 games. And guess what? That puts him alongside legends like David Robinson and Shaquille O'Neal. These are the only rookies to hit 1,000 points, 150 blocks, and 150 assists in their first 50 games. Wemby just joined a club that includes the Admiral and Shaq Diesel. How amazing is that? Wemby's name is being mentioned with some of the greatest of all time, and he's still in his rookie season. The sky's the limit for this guy. He's already proven he's not just another hyped-up rookie. He's a game changer, a once-in-a-generation type of player, and we're lucky enough to witness his rise to greatness. Now, let's not forget that all these achievements come with minutes restrictions. Imagine what Wemby could do if he played 35 to 40 minutes a night. But you know what? That's the scary part for the rest of the league. Even with limited minutes, Wemby is still out there dominating, breaking records, and putting the NBA on notice. You have to think, what records are next for Wemby? 200 blocks? 100 threes? A quadruple double? At this point, nothing seems out of reach. He's already made us rethink what a rookie can do, and he's on a mission to redefine what it means to be a big man in today's NBA. He's got the length, the shot blocking, the passing, the shooting touch from deep, and the vision to be something the league has never seen before. And don't even get me started on his impact on defense. Blocking 10 shots in a game is one thing, but Wemby's presence alters every shot around the rim. He's a walking nightmare for opposing players, and that's why teams are already starting to change their game plans just to deal with him. The Wemby effect is real. But besides all that, Wemby is the youngest player in NBA history to play a game with at least 40 points and 20 rebounds. That's right, most players dream of hitting those numbers at any point in their career. Wemby's already done it. Before he can legally have a drink in some places, He's dominating both ends of the floor like he's been here for years. This kind of performance at his age is absolutely unreal. And that's not all. Wemby is the only player in NBA history to score over 1,500 points, dish out over 250 assists, record over 250 blocks, and hit over 100 three-pointers in a single season. Just let that sink in for a second. It's almost like Wemby is combining the best parts of every superstar into one player. He's blocking shots like a prime Mutombo, dishing out assists like Magic Johnson, scoring like Kevin Durant, and hitting threes like Steph Curry. This man's skill set is out of this world. And here's another one for the books. Wemby reached 1,000 points, 500 rebounds, and 150 blocks in the fastest time ever, just 1,423 minutes. That's basically a little over half a season's worth of minutes. And he's already putting up numbers that some players take years to reach. It's like he's speedrunning his way through NBA history. But wait, there's more. Wemby became the first player in NBA history to record games on consecutive nights with 5 or more points, assists, rebounds, blocks, and steals. That's a stat stuffer on back-to-back nights. Most players can barely get out of bed after one intense game. Wemby, he's out here giving his all every single night and still finding ways to break records. If that's not enough to convince you of his greatness, Wemby is also the youngest player ever to record a game with 20 points and 20 rebounds. Think about that. At an age when most players are still figuring out their place in the league, Wemby is dominating it. His impact on both ends of the floor is just staggering. This isn't just raw talent. This is a level of skill and poise that takes most players years to develop. But you want more, right? Wemby is also the youngest player to achieve a triple-double with double-digit blocks. That's right, blocks. It's not just about stuffing the stat sheet. It's about doing it in a way that completely changes the game. Blocking shots left and right, scoring at will, dishing out assists. It's like he's playing a different game than everyone else. And speaking of triple-doubles, Wemby also holds the record as the youngest player to record a triple-double without a turnover. That's efficiency at its finest. He's not just doing a little bit of everything. He's doing it all without making mistakes. That's the kind of player every coach dreams of having on their team. Wemby is also the only player in NBA history with averages of 20 points, 10 rebounds, 3 blocks, and 1 three-pointer per game. This combination of stats just does not happen. We've had great shot blockers, great rebounders, and great shooters, but Wemby is the perfect mix of them all. He's like a video game character with all the attributes maxed out. Let's keep it rolling because this next one is crazy. Wemby is the only player in NBA history with 250 blocks, 250 assists, and 100 three-pointers in a single season. Do you know how versatile you have to be to accomplish that? He's guarding the rim, he's orchestrating the offense, and he's stretching the floor like a guard. This is the future of basketball, and Wemby is leading the charge. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Wemby is second in NBA history to have 5 or more blocks and steals in consecutive games, with none other than Michael Jordan being the first. To be mentioned in the same breath as MJ is something every player dreams of. Wemby is achieving that in his rookie year. He's doing things that make you think he's been here before, like he's an old soul in a young body, dominating the court. Oh, and here's another mind blower. Wemby is second in NBA history to score 25 or more points with 5 or more rebounds, blocks, steals, and assists in a single game. The only other player to do this, Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon. Hakeem was known for his versatility and defensive prowess, and here comes Wemby, following in his footsteps, but also paving his own path to greatness. Wemby's not just about breaking records, he's about redefining what we think is possible on the basketball court. His stats are one thing, but the way he gets them is a whole different story. He's got the grace of a guard, the wingspan of a center, and the IQ of a seasoned vet. He's not just good, he's something we've never seen before. And if you think Wemby is done, you're so wrong. With the way he's playing, there's no telling how many more records he'll break this season alone. He's rewriting the history books game after game, and there's no ceiling in sight. Let's talk about his impact on the game. Teams are already scrambling to figure out how to defend him. Coaches are staying up late, rewatching tape, trying to find a weakness, and you know what? They can't find one. Wemby's arsenal is so deep that he can counter anything thrown at him. Double team him, he'll find the open man. Let him shoot, he'll drain the three. Play him tight, he'll take you to the rim. What do you do against a player like that? The answer so far is nothing. Wemby's presence on the defensive end is equally ridiculous. His ability to block shots and grab rebounds isn't just about his height. It's about his timing, his anticipation, and his absolute refusal to let anything come easy. Players think twice about driving to the basket when Wemby's on patrol. They know what awaits them, a rejection that'll end up on the highlight reel, courtesy of Wemby. And offensively, Wemby is a nightmare. His three-point shooting, combined with his ability to post up and finish at the rim, makes him virtually unguardable. He can put the ball on the floor, shoot from deep, or play above the rim. He's already developed a skill set that makes him a mismatch for any defender. Guards can't handle his size, and bigs can't keep up with his speed and agility. It's like trying to stop a freight train with a feather. Good luck. Wemby has also quickly become a leader for the Spurs. You see him on the court, directing traffic, calling out plays, and setting the tone on both ends of the floor. For such a young player, he's got the mindset of a veteran. He's already commanding the respect of his teammates and the entire league. And that's what makes him so special. Not just his talent, but his maturity and his will to be great. And let's not forget the fans. The Wemby effect is real, and it's taking over the NBA. Everywhere the Spurs play, fans are flocking to see this kid live. They want to be able to say, "I saw Wemby play in his rookie year," because they know they're witnessing something historic. Wemby is more than just a player. He's a phenomenon. In every game, you can feel the energy shift when Wemby steps on the floor. It's like everyone knows something spectacular is about to happen, and usually it does. Whether it's a block that sends the ball into the stands, a three-pointer that looks too smooth for a guy his size, or an assist that threads the needle, Wemby is out here delivering showtime every night. So what's next for Wemby? More records, more milestones, and probably a few MVP conversations down the road. If his rookie season is any indication, we're looking at a player who could end up in the GOAT discussion one day. And I know that's a big claim, but if there's anyone who could do it, it's Wemby. We're all just lucky to be along for the ride. Wemby is making basketball fun again, with a mix of old school fundamentals and new age versatility. He's inspiring the next generation, and he's reminding us all why we love this game. So buckle up, because Wemby's just getting started, and this journey is going to be epic. All right, let's take a deeper dive into Wemby's incredible list of records and achievements, because this young phenom is doing things we've never seen before. His game has not just been about breaking records, it's about shattering them and creating new standards for what we can expect from an NBA player. Buckle up, because we're going on a wild ride through Wemby's latest achievements. First off, Wemby made history by becoming the first rookie to make the all-defensive first team. Let that sink in for a second. We're talking about a 19-year-old who walked into the NBA and immediately started guarding some of the toughest players in the league. He's not just participating, he's locking down all-stars, like he's been doing this for a decade. And here's the kicker. He's the youngest first-team member ever. That's right, no one younger has ever achieved such an accolade. The NBA has seen its share of defensive juggernauts, but Wemby has set a whole new precedent. Think about all the legends who have played in this league: Jordan, Pippen, Kawhi, and realize Wemby did something they didn't manage in their rookie seasons. And it doesn't stop there. Wemby is the first rookie all-defensive team overall selection since Tim Duncan back in 1998. Yeah, we're talking about the big fundamental himself, the cornerstone of one of the most successful franchises in sports history. Duncan's name is often mentioned when discussing the greatest power forwards ever, and now Wemby is being mentioned right alongside him. Spurs fans have to be feeling a little deja vu. It's like they found their next great big man, and he's already living up to that massive potential. And if that's not enough to get you excited, here's another jaw-dropper. Wemby is also the first rookie with 300 stocks in a season since Shaquille O'Neal in the 92-93 season. In case you're wondering, stocks are a combination of steals and blocks, and hitting 300 is rare air for even the best defensive players. Shaq was a defensive nightmare in his rookie season, and Wemby is right there with him. That's how dominant Wemby's been on the defensive end. He's stepping into categories reserved for Hall of Famers, and in some cases, inventing categories of his own. And speaking of defense, Wemby isn't just content with blocking shots, he's swatting them into oblivion. The guy had 8 games with 7 or more blocks, which is the most by a rookie since another Spurs legend, David Robinson. Robinson was known for his shot-blocking prowess, and now Wemby is following in those gigantic footsteps. Imagine being a rookie and having your name mentioned in the same breath as the Admiral. That's the level Wemby is on. Let's break down a few more historic nights. On March 3rd, Wemby put on an absolute show against the Indiana Pacers. He finished with 31 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists, and 6 blocks. That stat line puts him in the company of absolute legends. To give you an idea of how rare that is, only a handful of players have ever managed to put up numbers like that in a game. Guys like Joel Embiid, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, David Robinson, Hakeem, Karl Anthony Towns, Anthony Davis, and Charles Barkley. And here's Wemby, a teenager, casually joining that list like it's no big deal. But wait, it gets crazier. Just a few nights earlier, on February 29th, Wemby went off in a win against the Oklahoma City Thunder. He finished the game with 7 assists, 5 3-pointers, and 5 blocks. And guess what? Nobody's ever done that in NBA history. Not LeBron, not Curry, not even the greats like Magic or Bird. Wemby is literally creating new stat lines that have never been seen in the annals of basketball history. Think about the versatility required to hit those marks. A 7-footer who can dish out dimes, swat shots, and splash from deep. It's unheard of. And let's revisit that insane back-to-back stretch. On February 23rd, in a game against the Lakers, Wemby posted 27 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists, 5 blocks, and 5 steals. The only other player to ever do that, Hakeem Olajuwon. And let's not forget, Olajuwon was a fully developed NBA superstar at 27 years old when he accomplished this. Wemby, he's just a kid getting started. The fact that he's already being mentioned alongside a top 10 all-time player should tell you everything you need to know about his potential. But here's where it gets even crazier. That game against the Lakers was the second night of a back-to-back. On the first night, Wemby dropped 19 points, 13 rebounds, 5 steals, 5 blocks, and 4 assists. The full list of players who have ever recorded that line includes Olajuwon, David Robinson, and Jusuf Nurkic. That's it, just 3 guys. If Wemby had finished that game with 1 more assist, he would have become the first player in NBA history to record back-to-back games with at least 5 points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks. That's relevant because there are only 22 such games in the history of the league, and only 2 players have ever done it twice in their entire careers, Olajuwon and Andrei Kirilenko. Wemby almost became the third to do it in a single back-to-back. What we're witnessing with Wemby is the stuff of legend. It's not just about the records, it's about how he's playing the game. His combination of size, skill, and athleticism is something we've never seen before. He's redefining what it means to be a big man in the NBA. One minute, he's swatting a shot into the stands, and the next, he's dribbling down the court, pulling up from 3, or dishing out no-look passes like a seasoned point guard. It's no wonder he's been able to put up some of the most absurd stat lines we've ever seen. And let's not forget his impact on the defensive end, where he's already established himself as a rim protector and a perimeter threat. He's averaging over 3 blocks per game while still being able to guard multiple positions. That versatility is why he's racking up records like the first player in NBA history to average 20 points, 10 rebounds, 3 blocks, and hit at least 1 3-pointer per game. The ability to dominate both inside and outside on both ends of the floor is what makes Wemby so special. Wemby is also only the second player in NBA history to record consecutive games with 5 or more blocks and steals, joining the GOAT, Michael Jordan. Anytime you're mentioned in the same breath as MJ, you're doing something right. This just shows how impactful he is defensively, disrupting plays all over the court. So if you're not on the Wemby hype train yet, what are you waiting for? This guy is breaking barriers, setting standards, and pushing the limits of what we thought was possible in the NBA. His rookie season alone is filled with moments that would make an entire Hall of Fame career. And the craziest part, this is just the beginning. Wemby is here, and he's changing the game, one record at a time.